What's up, everybody? I'm Mike the Investor, and have we seen the bottom for the crypto market in 2022? Or is the market crying wolf? And this is kind of an old school tale that has a moral to the story. I'm going to briefly tell you what it is if you haven't heard the saying crying wolf. So basically, there was a boy that was in the woods and he will always say, hey, there's a wolf. So the adults will come in to check on him to make sure he was okay. But they will find out there was no wolf. So the last time the boy cried wolf, there was actually a wolf there. However, the adults didn't come to check on him because each time they came, he was always playing and there was no wolf. So, moral of the story, when it comes to the crypto market, we see a leg down and then the market recovers a little bit. And then we get hit with another blow and then we see a leg down, then the market recovers a little bit. And so there's a lot of sentiment out there stating that the market has bottomed out. And quite frankly, it does look that way because we have a lot to go about. Moving averages, just technical analysis. You also have Bitcoin hasn't been around 17 to 18,000 since 2020, except for when it got that low last month in July when it hit that all-time low. So the question is, have we actually bottomed out? Well, to be quite frankly with you, no one actually really knows. However, we can make good arguments based off of which side you want to be on. So let's briefly look at the market here. So looking at CoinGecko, we can see the market is up 4.5% on today. You look at Bitcoin right under 24,000. It has touched 24K a couple times but pulled back. You look at ETH over 1,800. You have a BNB well over 330. XRP, you got Cardano well over 50 cents. Solana has still been holding up despite the problems they've been having. You got DOT, and then of course you got Polygon, which I think will be moving itself up. And then of course you guys know I'm bullish on Tron as well, also ETC and others. Now, one thing I want to mention, the market responded very positively when the CPI numbers came out. And what that is basically letting us know that inflation has slowed down a little because the expected interest was supposed to be around 8.7%. However, it was actually reported 8.5%, which shows that the inflation has slowed down temporarily, which is why we've kind of seen this positive sentiment in the crypto market. But one thing I do find interesting regarding this news, if you just look at the crypto fear and greed index here, you can see today it is 31, which is actually a little bit lower compared to what yesterday's was, which was 42. So this is still kind of something to keep an eye on to kind of see what the overall, crypto, fear and greed index is. Now, one thing I want to show you in this video is a few different market psychology charts. And these things are really great to look at. And it's a good thing to look at different ones as well. They're telling you the same thing, but in different ways. And they also may speak to you a different way depending on how the psychology chart is. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Everyone knows about the Wall Street cheat sheet, psychology of a market cycle. So we know everything first starts at the disbelief. You have the hope, you have the optimism, belief, the thrill, then you have the euphoria where just everyone's making money. And right at that peak, that's when we see the decline. And if you go back to the chart of Bitcoin, I'm going to show this here in a second, but I'm going to use this as an example. You're going to see what I mean here. So if we go back just to the all-time high of Bitcoin, which is back in November of last year, this was around 69K Bitcoin and about a 3.1 trillion crypto market cap. We pulled down a little bit, consolidated, and then we moved up, and people thought we were going back here again, right? Which was kind of understandable. However, this was around the time of April, months after we hit that all-time high. We saw another rally, but it wasn't like this rally. And then after that, we dumped down, pulled back up a little bit for that last blowout, and then we just started to pull down. Now, let me show you something. There's a few others I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you this one here. As you can see, as you look at different market psychology charts, they tell you and show you different things based off of what type of investor you are. And the reason why that is because we receive things differently as people. Now, as you can see right here at the bottom, you have the stealth phase. And if you go back here, this is the stealth phase right here. Now let's go back to this one. Now you have the awareness phase. This is where the optimism is starting to kick in. Then you have the mania phase, right? And you can see smart money is buying in the stealth phase where there's complete disbelief. Then you have the institutional investors buying at the awareness phase. Then you have the mania phase, which is where a lot of people are starting to get in. The greed is kicking in and the euphoria. And then you have the blow off phase, which is when everything cools down. Now, let me show you this here. This is another psychology of market cycle, just used based off of emojis, right? And you can see you have the price and the time, which all of them have. Disbelief. And you can see all-time high, we pull down. People think we're about to go to that all-time high again or blow past it. And no, it's just the last shakeout. Boom. And we start to pull all the way down. And then we start to consolidate. There's some rallies here and there, but we really don't know where that bottom truly is. And then if you look here, here's just a basic chart of how things go. So let me show you the cryptocurrency market. And right now, this is the all-time chart. I'm going to take this all the way to 2020. So if you look right here, well under $1 trillion, right? And this is when technically I got into crypto back in March of 2020. Now, as you can see, we have that run up at a 2.4 trillion, which right now, currently, this is the all-time high. But this isn't that bull cycle. So now we consolidate a little bit, we move up, consolidate, and then boom, we hit everything back in November, as I mentioned earlier. And then here we go, we pull down a little bit, and then boom, we hit up again, which is basically touching these prices here almost. So people think we're on our way back up again, right? Which is here in March and April, as I mentioned earlier. And then you can see now we pull down, leg down, consolidate, leg down, consolidate. Now, a lot of people think now that we have bottomed out. Now, real quick, let's just look at these again. Remember, here's November. We shot up, consolidate, leg down, and then we shot up again in November. Let's go back. Here we go. We move up. Here's November, shot down, leg down, move back up in April, and then we move all the way down, right? So let's see if I can move this a little bit better. Let's move that back. There we go. So you can see a little bit better here, right? Boom. Here's November, all-time high, 3.1 trillion market cap, 69,000 Bitcoin. Pull down, boom, we think we going up. A lot more people start to buy in, and this is the end of the bull market right here. You can still make a little bit of gains here, but that's your last chance. Most people don't see this coming. Boom, and we pull down. Now let's look. Same thing happened. All-time high, pull down. People think we're going back to that all-time high again. Last shakeout, boom, we pull down. Go to another market psychology. Here it is. Boom, here we go. All-time high, we pull down a little bit. People think we're going back to the all-time high or higher. Boom, and we pull all the way down, which is what we've seen. And this is why it's good to look at these different charts, because it allows you to make your own decisions the best way you can, regardless what I'm saying, regardless what any YouTuber is saying, right? So the question is, do you think we've seen the bottom in 2022? Let me know down in the comment section. Smash the like button on the way out, and I will catch you on the next one.